Welcome to your core practice today. This sequence, we have 3 primary moves that we're working on. All of them will be on our backs. So I love this sequence because it kind of feels like you're taking a break, but we're actually still going to be working really hard. I love using the mat as a place to really help us discover alignment at its best because we have something to press back into. So go ahead and lay down on your yoga mat. Start with your knees bent. Anchor through the back of your head, the back of your shoulders, and the back of your pelvis. So you feel those 3 points have just become an amazing anchor for your body. And as you press down through those 3 points, I want you to start to feel some of the more subtle and deep core muscles engage. You can soften or close your eyes. And we start all of these 20-minute classes with 3 deep breaths. So go ahead and take the biggest, best breath that you've taken in days, right here, right now. And as you exhale, I want you to feel the ribs knitting in and the belly pulling back. So those are the 2 actions today. Let your inhales come naturally, big and buoyant, huge expansiveness through the chest, ribs, belly. But whenever you're ready to exhale, feel the outer waist drawing in and the belly drawing back. Maybe even pause, feel your core strong. Once more, big breath into the entire chest, ribs, belly, expand. And as you exhale, feel the outer waist drawing in and feel the belly drawing back. Pause at the base of your breath. And then allow your eyes to open. Bring your arms by your side, everyone. Tap all 10 fingernails down, even that thumbnail. And then from this position, give a push to the toes and allow your heels to lift. So that just the big toe is on the mat, and then lower the heels back down. You might get a little Charlie horse in the foot. That's okay. Stretch it out. Twice more. Inhale, just the heels lift. The balls of the feet come just to the big toes. And then exhale, lower balls, lower the heel back down. And now notice this time, if you can keep the belly a little softer and let that action come with effortless effort. So lift and don't move your face, don't move your chest, don't move your belly. Let that movement come from the deep core. So now you're hovering right on the tips of the toes, pushing. And then let the toes lift up in unison, coming to our starting position for our first exercise. Point the toes forward. And if you look at the video, you'll see my knees are stacked sort of over my hips and the toes are up in line with the knees. So that's going to be our position here. And you're keeping that kind of right angle between the upper leg bone and the lower leg bone to initiate our toe taps. Exhale, draw the right toes down to the mat. And inhale, lift them up. Exhale, send the left toes down. And inhale, lift them up. So you guys keep going. So you're going to notice that we're keeping that right angle at the leg, even as we lift and lower. And we're keeping a steadiness through the torso. Nothing else is shifting. So already you might notice some imbalances in your core if your hips are tilting forward. So if when you go to lower a leg, your whole spine tips forward like this, it means that you just don't know how to turn on that deep core. And that's what these Tuesday classes are all about. So if that's you, place one hand to your low belly, one hand to your low back, and try to not let this thing move. Let your torso stay really stable, no tipping at the pelvis. And you might notice just a little deeper sensation now through this very simple movement. There's 10 rounds, about 3 more to each side. I'm already feeling that wonderful burn at my psoas, my hip flexor, at my transverse abdominis, that cinch the girdle muscle that cinches the waistline in. And even at my shoulders, because they're pressing back so strongly, strengthening the entire back body. Last one to each side. Good. Pause at that tabletop. Arms are by your side. Just press to recalibrate the back of the head, the shoulders, and the sacrum. And then let the toes dip down to the mat. Slowly lower the ball of the foot, then the heel, and walk the feet out, let the knees tap. So that's your first pose. Making sure that we have everybody in the room here. Back of the head, shoulders, sacrum, arms. So we've added our foundation. Preparing for our second pose, draw those feet back to hips distance.
Platicos late.
Take a deep breath all the way in. And all the way out. Here we go, everybody. Float the heels up. Float the balls of the feet. Just the toes are touching, and remember to lift now from your deep core as you bring the shins parallel. This next move has quickly turned into one of my favorite core strengtheners. So this one is an isometric conditioning pose. Please take both of your hands and press them to your left knee. So hands are pressing to that left knee or just above it. And then we tap the right toes down. So we're just going to do single leg taps. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. So this is really easy if you pretend that you're doing nothing with your hands. But for your next 8, I want you guys to actually push your hands into this knee as the knee pushes into the hands. Make sense? You guys feel that? So my right toes are still tapping down and up. It's like patting the head and rubbing the belly. And the left hands are pushing the knee forward while the knee pushes in. Last 5, I'm like shaking at my face while I talk. That's how hard I'm pushing here. 4. Point the toes. Last 3. 2. 1. Oh my gosh, my whole body core temperature has increased like crazy. Arms by the side. Just pause, feel the shaking. We are not taking a break between sides. Let this recalibrate your core. Here we go. Take your hands, everybody. Palms face forward. Press them one over the other to the right knee. So now we start with a little taps. Tap the left toes and lift the left leg. So just get that left leg going on its own. And now add the isometrics. Push the right knee forward while the knee pushes into the hand. Ooh, you guys feel that? You should be shaking at the right leg. 10 rounds with the left leg. We have about 8 more to go. Nice and slow. Build off what you just learned. So with the double taps, we practice not tipping at the pelvis. So when I'm sending my left leg forward, I'm not letting my whole pelvis go. My pelvis is really stable. And I'm still pushing the right knee forward as the knee pushes into my hand. Last 5. Ooh. 4. I love the online classes because I get to do all of it with you guys. 3. Last 2. And last 1. Oh my gosh, bring your arms by your side. Just recalibrate. Take a breath. Stay strong right to the end of the movement. Lower both toes in unison. Lower the ball of the foot. Lower the heels. Wow. Walk the feet out. Let the knees tap. Take that breath. Notice how quickly a breath can rebalance your nervous system. I'm always amazed. We add on. Walk the feet together. Bend at the knees. Anchor the head, the shoulders, the back of the pelvis, the arms. Lift the heels from the deep core. Float all the way up through the toes. So now lifting your legs is this very like ninja-like action. You're not just flinging your legs up, but you're actually mindful of where you're lifting from. Okay, so your arms are by your side. So this time the knees are gonna come in towards the chest. You can bring the heels all the way to the butt. Use this as not a full relax, but I actually want you guys to round your spine a little. So imagine pulling your knees in with your hands, but we're not doing that. Just pull, 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 pretending that your hands are there. Point your toes. On your exhale, get ready to extend the legs out on a 45. So extend as if you're pushing your toes into someone's hands that are there. Holding them like this, you're trying to push your toes forward. Do it again. Take the knees in. Think of rounding the spine as if you're pulling your legs in with your hands, but you're not. Feel how that engages your upper abdominals. Keep that. And now press the back of the head, extend the legs, and feel that how that engages the lower abdominals. Wonderful. So we started with the deep, and now we're adding all of the layers. Draw the knees in. And extend the legs out. So you guys have 10 rounds. There's 7 more to go. Again, with this one, notice as you extend the legs out that you're trying to arrive in a neutral position in the spine. So I'm not letting my spine fully cave forward, not letting my hips tip forward. I'm staying pretty neutral. I start with that little round and then I extend out to neutral. There it is. Let's go for 3. 2, the lower you dip the legs, the more challenging. So you're in control. 1, squeeze in just a little more this time. And extend out just a little more this time. Ooh, and draw the knees in. Cross at the ankles this time and squeeze. Good. Relax your toes. Mine kind of get crampy with all the early morning pointing and flexing. So we do that again. There's 20 full rounds of that last movement. So we start knees to the chest, uncross at the heels, arms by your side. Anchor the head, shoulders, sacrum, arms. Get ready by pulling the knees in. Feel that upper abdominal engagement. Press the back of the head, exhale, extend the legs without tipping the hips. So if you had a little bit of paint on your sacrum, it would be a perfect little spot on your yoga mat. It would not be tipping forward. Keep that going, 10 rounds. We have 8 more to go with this one here. Start to turn on the breath now that I don't need to talk as much. So you can focus a bit more on building your own practice. That's what these 20-minute classes are all about. Teaching us these little sequences we can do to completely change our mind and our body, reset the path of the day. Let's go for 4. Nice and slow for 3. For 2. And for 1. Amazing. Little cross at the heels. Draw the knees in. So I mentioned we were working through 3 different movements today. That's called the second movement. So we're preparing for our third and final movement now. We start in that reverse tabletop. So go ahead and stack the knees over the hips, the shins parallel to floor, and the arms by your side. So you can always look around if you're not sure if you've got it. Check out your body, check out your alignment. We use this as the foundation for a lot of our supine core work. But this time we're going to bring arms up. So I've been working on posture with a few of you, and I want you guys to think about pressing through the back of your head, retracting the head as we move through these thoracic lifts. The legs stay stable in this pose. I like them here because we're just turning on that deep core rather than relaxing at the feet. Bring the arms facing one another. Go ahead and start to lift the right shoulder, sending the right hand about one handprint higher than the left. Now in this position, I want you to imagine that I'm grabbing your wrist and lifting your arm up for you. Feel how that helps you really, really pull the shoulders apart. Exhale, slowly plug the shoulder back. And inhale, lift the left shoulder. So if I just lift, I stop about here. But then if I imagine someone's hand on my wrist, lifting for me, somehow I get way more space. Exhale, plug back. Good, that's one round. Here we go for the second. We have 10 rounds, 8 more to go. Moving one shoulder at a time. Again, lots of multitasking happening. Notice that the legs want to drift. They probably want to come in towards you to release the load. Don't let them. Keep pushing the knees forward. Shins parallel to the floor. Lifting one arm and then the other to extend. So we're doing thoracic extension here. Creating a little torsion at that mid-back. Let's call that 5 more. Here we go. Let's call it 4 more. Keep pressing back of the head. Let's call it 3 more. Active hands. Imagine you're holding a beach ball between your arms. Final 2 more. This is your little push. Stay with it. Final 1 to each side. Pause, lower the arms. Slowly bend at the knees, tap the toes. Release the balls of the feet, release the heels. Walk the feet wide and tap the knees towards each other. Oh. From this position, the feet wide, knees together. Let your knees both just dip to the right. And you could add on by hooking the right ankle above the left knee. Just giving a stretch out through that left psoas. Let your breath be soft. Be proud of yourself for that amazing work. Building such strength. Release the hook, press the feet, lift one knee up at a time. Feet are wide, knees tap together, take a clearing breath. And then over to the left. You can either stay or hook the left ankle just above the right knee, keeping space between the thighs. Pause, soften, breathe. Unhook, both feet down, lift the knees up. And this time, feet together, knees wide, close your eyes, 3 closing breaths. In through the ribs. Feel the ribs expand. And on your exhale, feel the ribs pull in, feel the belly pull back. Twice more. Final big breath as a group. support your knees up. Move to one side. You can stay there as long as you wish. Eventually supporting yourself up to a seat. Place your hands together. Bow your head to your heart. And thank yourself for choosing yoga today. I'd like to thank you as well. Namaste.